What is good with the YouTube fight fans all over the world? It's your boy, the realest of the real. Yes, sir, I said it. Real Talk Boxing. It is a privilege and honor and a major blessing to be back with you, beautiful people, yet again. I want to touch again on AJ versus Ngannou. How did AJ make it look so easy? How did he make those 2 rounds look like a sparring session? A mismatch? I'm giving you my opinion on that. The basics. A lot of people message me and say, Real Talk, how do I get started boxing? Learn your basics and learn them well. Stay on your basics for a while. Because if you perfect your basics, it can make a fight very easy for you, much like Anthony Joshua. Big ups to Anthony Joshua again and Francis Ngannou. 3 knockdowns. Fight didn't even go 2 rounds, round and a half. The first knockdown, I remember, was opened up with a feint, a very subtle feint. And if you don't watch closely, you'll miss it. Anthony Joshua bent his knees ever so slightly, using that as a feint to get a reaction out of Francis Ngannou. And Ngannou reacted to it, bending his knees, getting lower. And as soon as Anthony Joshua saw that, the ring IQ, he saw his head drop just enough to where he could detonate that straight right hand, because Ngannou was right on the center line. When he ducked down, his head right on center line, and at the exact point where he needed, Anthony Joshua, that is, needed Francis Ngannou's head to be. He put that in his mindset right off the bat. So what did he do? You got to watch closely. He did the same feint, bent with the knees. And Francis Ngannou, I believe he was in the southpaw stance at the time. He reacted to it again. But this time, not only did he bend his knees just a little, he swiped with his right hand because he thought Anthony Joshua was going to the body with that straight right hand. Thus, the small, subtle bending of the knees, the feint, to get a reaction. What happened? Straight down the pipe, baya, down. Basics. Simple. Less is more. You young fighters out there, less is more. All right? This was a clear indication and a perfect example of how less is more. Subtlety sometimes is more. Okay, let's go to the second knockdown. 2 knockdowns in the second round, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The next knockdown was caused by a jab up, jab low, pull, counter right hand. All right? Now, you notice when AJ pulled, that was even very subtle. See, a lot of young fighters, when they slip and roll, they do too much. You have to make that punch miss by mere inches. Mere inches. And sometimes you have to eat a little bit of that punch, just like Anthony Joshua did with that lazy jab of Francis Ngannou. It barely touched AJ because he pulled back ever so slightly. But you make the punch miss by mere inches so you can have the range to counter back. So it was a subtle pullback, and it grazed his nose and his lips a little bit, the jab, and then he came over the jab. Bye-yow. Down again. Basics. Subtle pullback counter. Yeah, I mean, I ate the jab a little bit, but I'm going to detonate again with this straight right hand. Down goes Ngannou again. Basic fundamentals, all right? Last but not least, the third knockdown. Now, there is a slight stutter step that Anthony Joshua did before he threw that devastating right hand and ended everything. Ended the whole night for Francis Ngannou. And if you don't watch it closely, you'll miss it. He stepped down with his lead foot, and he stutter stepped twice, and he dipped low, ever so slightly, another feint within that stutter step, and wham! Francis Ngannou thought it was coming down low again, caught him with the straight right hand again. Basics. Subtlety. Less is more. All right? You don't have to overdo it in order to perform very well. You don't have to overdo it in order to achieve your goal and placing punches. And that, my friend, is what Anthony Joshua did to gain him the victory over Francis Ngannou. It was so easy for him. It was like a walk in the park, going to the refrigerator to get a glass of tea. I loved it, man. Subtlety. Nothing spectacular. Nothing special. Just the basics. Young fighters out there, take notes. Less sometimes is more. All right? That's my opinion. I want to know yours. Comment down below. Let your boy Real Talk know. As always, respect all, fear none. God bless us. The next time Real Talk Boxing, I'm up and I'm out of here. Bang!